main riff of the song is going to start on the 10th fret, the low E string, and the 9th fret, the A, with an open D. We're going to play all the notes together. Then we're going to put our third finger down on the 10th fret, the A, and play that together with the open D string. Going back to the low E string on its own at the 10th fret. So together, finger on, bass. Take your finger off and play A and D together. On twice, off once, bass on the low E string. So one more time. We're then going to swap between the low E string and the A and D strings on repeat for the next bar. So the whole thing slowly. That's played on repeat. We're then going to move the shape down a whole string set to the A, D and G strings and play exactly the same thing, only this time the bass will be on the A and we'll play the D and G together. So whole chord together, third finger down, just the D and G strings, back to the bass, then off, on, off, bass, and then the repeating A, D, G, A, D, G. So that second pattern played slowly would sound like this. Then back to the first pattern. And that's the whole intro and verse pattern. There's a little linking section as we go into the chorus. It starts with the 10 on the low E, 9 on the A, open D. Just play it once. We drop down to 9 on the E, 9 on the A, 9 on the D. Play it once. And we go down to this little pattern. So we've got the 7th fret on the low E string there to start with, 9th fret on the D, 7th fret on the G. These two notes are going to stay the same, but we're going to walk down on the D string. 9, 8, 7, 6. So that little linking section would sound like this. 10th fret, 9th fret, walk down on the D, 9, 8, 7, 6. Finish it off with a little G minor chord. Got 5th fret there on the D string and the first finger bar on the 3rd fret, the G, B and high E strings. And that takes us into the chorus. So the chorus starts on a D bass chord. I'm going to pick the D and B strings together, followed by the G and B. Then go to the F sharp minor chord. We're going to pick E, D, G, B. We'll then go to this lovely G major chord voicing. Got thumb over the top on the 3rd fret of the E string, 5th fret on the D, 4th fret on the G, 3rd fret on the B. Then we'll go back to our D, but this time we're going to have this little F sharp here on the 4th fret of the D string as the bass note. 2nd fret on the G, 3rd fret on the B, open high E, picking up the strings D, G, B, E, and then back to B. Then we're going to go back to that G major chord, but this time we're going to hammer on with the 2nd finger there to the 4th fret of the G string from open. Then down to an A sus4 chord, moving down to an A chord. That's the first half of the chorus. We have the D chord, the F sharp minor, G major, down to the D shape with the F sharp in the bass, back to the G, little hammer on, then to the A sus, and A. Then we start with the second half of the chorus. So the second half of the chorus starts in pretty much the same way as the first half of the chorus with that D chord. This time we're just going to pick D and B together, followed immediately by the G, go to the F sharp minor, pick across the whole chord there to start with, so E, D, G and B. Then we're going to pick B, G, D, E, B. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and back to the G with the hammer on. Then the A. Then we go to a B minor 7 chord. We're going to rake across the strings, then pick the high E string at the 5th fret with the pinky finger on there. Back to the G with the hammer on, down to the D chord, but this time E string on the second fret and put that F sharp in the bass there. Playing D, G and B as well. Then high E, B, G. Then to an E7 chord. Breaking across, picking a high E string last. So we've got E, D, G, B. And a high E. Finish on an A chord. So the second half of the chorus played slowly is the D, F sharp minor. Then to the G with the hammer on, down to an A, B minor 7, grabbing the high E string at the 5th fret, back to the G with the hammer on, D, this time with the low F sharp in the low E string bass, E7, picking the high E string straight after, finishing on the A. There's also a mid-8 section in this song. It starts on a D chord without the second finger, so we've got the high E string open there. I'm going to pick D, B, G, E, G, D, B, G, D. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Then stay on the D chord, but we're going to put low E string, 2nd fret down in the bass, the F sharp. Pick low E, D, G and B strings. Then to the little hammer on the G chord again. Straight down to an A chord. B minor. We're then going to grab 4th fret there on the D string. High E string at the 5th fret as we've done before. Then we go to E minor, picking E, D, G and B strings, the D with the F sharp and the low E string, G major, then down to this lovely chord, go on, 2nd finger, low E string at 4th fret, 1st finger, 3rd fret at the D, and 3rd finger, 4th fret at the G, down to an A sus4, pick high E twice, low A open, high E again, and finish it off with an A major chord. So the whole mid-8 section played slowly starts on the D chord there. Then I'm going to grab the bass on the low E string, 2nd fret, G, hammer on, A, B minor 7, grabbing the high E string, the 5th fret, E minor, D, G, passing chord, A sus4, and then A. There's also a variation to end the song as well. Starts on the D chord with D, B, G, D. Then the low E string at 2nd fret followed by G and B. So G with the hammer on. Down to the D chord, this time with the low E string on the bass of the 2nd fret. E7, grab the high E string straight after, and then A, finish it off, D chord, D, G, B. Okay, so slowly.